Has anyone ever crashed your event with kindness? Your birthday party, maybe your wedding, maybe your baby shower.
Because that one person just had to be involved. And it can be summed up in 5 simple words. I'm just trying to help, which sounds really nice, but it can feel like a bulldozer. And the worst part is, they claim it's for you.
If someone's ever taken over your celebration, stolen your moment to shine,
And did it with that smile on their face,
then this video is for you. So grab a pen and let's begin.
Hey.
Hey, baby.
Hey everyone, we're Jeff and Ellen, life and relationship coaches, and today we're talking about takeovers or hijackers.
These are those people who are in your social groups, whether it's friends or family, who with good intentions want to be involved in your events, whether you assign them a role or not.
And we talked about this in the last video and your story about how your mom came in and took over a birthday party.
Yeah, my 30th birthday party, the one a friend was going to throw me. We had plans underway because she had talked to me about what I want. And then my mom had a different idea about what she wanted for me or what I should want for that party and took over.
Yeah, I think there's different ways that this happens, but it ends up happening on really important events for people.
And then it ends up creating a bit of a quandary or stress, and you're not sure, am I just too controlling and am I too picky? Am I not a nice person to let this person who wants to help?
Or is it the other person that's one controlling? And I think we've gone to that answer already. It's the other person who wants to barge in and take over. It's really stemming from them, not the person whose celebration or moment to shine is happening.
Yeah, and that's, I think, what we want to bring more attention to today. We want to bring more clarity that when you have an event and when it's your event, you're allowed to have your event go the way you want it. That's not being too controlling. That's you, because these events, we're not talking about everyday breakfast.
No, these are special events that have some specificity to it, because we're not talking about the what are they, bridezillas?
Oh, yes.
We're not going in the deep end of that.
No.
Where it's so much rigidity, but it's,
and that's also about how you communicate your messages. We're talking about that these special events, so like whether it's weddings, baby showers, certain birthday parties, maybe it's a big celebration for a big milestone that you had.
But it also could be like Thanksgiving. It could be Christmas. Some sort of gathering of people that you have put some thought into, and there's an intrusion from someone else that comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about when do you speak up? How do you speak up? And what's that line in the sand? People, that's what people ask. What's the line in the sand? When am I allowed to speak up? When am I not?
Well, we think you should always be able to speak up and speak your mind. But let's talk about what is preventing people from speaking up. I think the beginning is because it's under the guise of family or they're a friend. Because of that label, we're supposed to keep quiet.
Yeah.
We shouldn't say anything because that they're family, and family is allowed to help. And so we just allow behaviors that are unhealthy because maybe the family member is an older generation. It's your aunt, it's your mother, it's your grandmother, right? Someone being able to be excused for the behavior and excused for a conversation that should be happening before the event, right? And so I think the main culprit when it's an event that you have with your partner, if it's like a Christmas feast that you and your partner are putting together or hosting, or maybe it is a baby shower or an engagement party or something, between you and your partner, it's important that you guys are on the same page.
Yes.
I think that's most important.
Yes. I agree. I think that is most important. So it's what happens when you have an outside family member. I think there's two scenarios. There's one we hear a lot, which is when a family member, so like a parent, contributes money to the event. So you're having your wedding, but they're contributing money. So does that money buy them say?
Yes, it does. When you allow the influence of other people to financially back your event, you are giving them say. And so we've done this where we said, nope, we're not allowing an outside investment in our celebration because we know with that financial input, they also get a say, an influence, and a voice in our celebration. And that is where resentment and defensiveness comes up, because then it's like, whose party is this? Is this now your party, and are we just the pawns in your moment to shine? Or is it really our moment to shine? We've had many conversations about this with clients through their celebrations of their weddings, and how family members have, ruined or wrecked their day, or
And they
baby
felt like they had
showers.
no say.
Same thing, yeah. That they just have to take it. Between you and I, if we're having a celebration and my family wants to be involved, that is up to us to have a conversation before the event happens, that we are clear. Like, is this just between you and I?
Yeah.
Are we allowing, some family member to bring a pie or not? What do you want? What do we want to do here? And unless that's really clear, then we're not even sure what our event is.
Yeah.
We just allow other people to influence instead of us being clear on our vision.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's really good. I think that's a good step one, is to make sure you're on the same page on the event, including a conversation about, are we having outside investors in our event? If so, who or not? And then make sure we stick to that.
I think the challenging part is the emotional ties that we have to family.
Yeah.
When people...
or friends.
When people get married, or people join in partnership and they move in and now they're starting to create a life together, it's easy to still keep open ties. Do we still, am I really tied towards my mom so much, so I'm sort of playing in both teams? Like, who's the woman in my life? I don't want to piss my mom off, so I'll piss you off, so I don't piss off my mom.
That's a really good point, yeah.
And so that can be really challenging for some people, because they're not ready emotionally to cut those ties. They want to still emotionally live in two houses. They still want to be either a mama's boy or a mama's girl or daddy's little girl. And so we still want to pledge allegiance to family.
Yeah.
Right? And that's okay, as long as it's not at the expense of the partnership between two people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. And it all comes down to also how you communicated. So maybe then after that, then we're going to come back to then step 2 would be, if a family member says, hey, I would like to give you this money, you have a conversation with your partner and talk about, are we accepting it or are we not? But you may want to I would want to have a clarifying conversation. I would want us to sit down with the person, our parents or our friend or whoever, saying, we'd like to help you, and say, great. We just want to make sure, like, what does this mean? And what is the expectation?
So that's to clarify that you want to have it with each other first.
Have it with each other first, and together, though, like you and I together.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we have that conversation first, and make sure that it's not just, here's the plan, are you good with it? Because we won't be good with it. That's what I'm saying, is that the emotional part for one or both people, really challenging to say no to family members. And before you invite that conversation with the family members, you just really have to be really good. Are you okay to say no to your mom?
Yeah, it's a good conversation to have.
And acknowledge you probably won't be.
No.
So
I might have to have a conversation about, that might be difficult for me, so let's practice.
So we need to talk out what's going on underneath the surface. Because just like other generations, you are the generation that wants and is allowed to create your own house, to have your own bond. You get to create celebrations the way you would like, just like other generations were allowed to or not allowed to. It's valid that you would like to have the celebration go the way you want. And so when you're creating team in a household, or you're about to birth a new human being and now it goes from partnership to a family, you're allowed to establish house rules for your party or your celebration. And that may take lots of conversations between the two of you, so that you both get grounded and understand, I find it hard to say no to my family. I've never said no to my family. Oh, but I don't want you to feel like I'm not on your team. You're the most important person in my life now. I have to make them second, and I've always made them first. That's really hard. That's challenging piece. And I think because that's not happened in couplehood, because we end up start playing on two different teams, then the problem is, whose back do you have?
Right.
Like, do you have my back or do you have their back for this celebration?
Yeah.
You know, for the birth of our child, what are we saying? Are we okay to say no one is coming to the hospital or no visitors for the first 3 months? What do we want to do? And that, while we may claim, yes, we're not having any visitors for 3 months, emotionally that might be really challenging.
Yeah.
Because like, oh, I can't say no to my family.
Yeah.
Or I might say, I can't say no to my family. So we have to have that conversation, and then many conversations to really get clear on what is the boundary, or what boundaries are we being a little rigid here. I think we can give a little here. So the bottom line, if you don't feel like you are a strong team, it's going to be really difficult to be clear to other human beings where the boundary is, especially if one or both of you are undercutting the team, the boundaries.
Well, that actually, what you're talking about is this actually can, someone's outside, a friend or family, close friend or family member's outside influence can actually create the discord between the two of you, because it can go from, oh, I don't want their help, to an argument, but we should accept their help. You're being too rigid. You know, this is making it hard on me if you say no. And so then it becomes that person who is asserting themselves into your life. And this is what we want to point out. There's a big impact. Someone who is unconsciously, for their own selfish reasons, wanting to help you and saying it's just for kindness, asserting control over your event, is now bringing that energy into the relationship. And I think what you're saying is, if you don't have a strong relationship and connection and a way to communicate it, you're certainly going to find out.
Well, because then I might say, yeah, sure, love to have your help, and not have a conversation with Elle about it first.
Ooh.
So then I'm like, oh no, yeah, yes. Now, whether I'm excited about their help or I'm just uncomfortable about the help, but if I just don't want the conflict and I say yes, and then I have to come home and saying, guess what? You know, my aunt is going to make the flower arrangements.
And I'm like, what?
Now we have internal conflict about a party because I've left the team. I haven't established the team. I haven't ensured, is this the move? Do we? So it's important to have those conversations beforehand, or if you can't have the conversations, if you, oh, I didn't see this conversation coming, then you don't make any decision until you talk about it. You go together as a team. So if you have an aunt that says, hey, I want to do the flower arrangements, you can say, let me get back to you. Let me talk it over with my family first, with my partner first, and then we will make a decision and we will get back to you.
Now I have a scenario for you.
Yeah.
So what happens if we've agreed on something that this external person, outside person, wants to do? And we say, okay, here's your job, or here's what you can make for us, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can do the balloon arrangements.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they say, you know what? Instead of balloons, what I thought would be better is flowers. And so I didn't do balloons, I did flowers for you.
And then you say the same thing. I will have to get back to you. We will discuss it and then we will get back to you. Oh, but I already put in the order. Oh, well, that's uncomfortable for you. Let me get back to my partner and see what we can do. So that you never feel like your hand gets forced.
Yeah.
A lot of life is not a 911. It should not be like, well, I already made the order. Well, ask for a refund. Call them back up and say, I'm canceling the order. Well, it's going to cost me an extra $100. Yeah, I guess it will be. Yep. I will pay, I'll pay you that $100 to make that go away. Like, we don't, just because people claim that an event is about to happen doesn't mean that we have to zip it, be silent, and say, oh, I guess I have to roll over and just accept whatever card you deal to me. We have agency to say, no, thank you. I will have to get back to you on that.
Because someone, and we've said this before in our videos around boundaries, right? And dealing with family and other videos, someone is going to be uncomfortable in that moment. And so they're saying, oh, well, if you don't accept the flowers and I've done the order, that's going to make me uncomfortable. So now I have to be uncomfortable because I have to change the vision of what I wanted and been planning. And I did my part. I communicated, you agreed. And then when you unilaterally change the deal, change what we agreed upon, and then you force me to have to accept your changes, and you aren't seeing me or our event, but you're treating it like it's your event and now it's all about you, then we are definitely going to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And so at some point, boundaries, and this might be the first time this person experiences boundaries in this way, this might be an ouch moment for them, but an ouch moment doesn't mean bad. It's not unhealthy. As a matter of fact, it could be the beginning of a whole new orientation, healing process, and positive evolution in your relationship with them and their relationship with themselves and the rest of the world.
Because paying it forward, you'd like this kind of conflict overpowering to be done in this event, not the next ones.
Yes.
So it's not that you are making waves.
What? You're not an asshole for saying no?
Yeah. It's not that you're making waves. You're commenting on the waves that they have created. When they say, can I make A? And you say, I agree, you can make A. And then they change it and going, well, no, I want to do B now. That's not a you problem. That's them changing the agenda unilaterally. You've already agreed to something. For them to change it on you is more about them, and they will have to have an uncomfortable. We actually had this where people were invited to our wedding.
Oh, yes.
And then we had to have the uncomfortable conversation. Well, I guess you are going to have to uninvite those people. We didn't invite them. And so it was really uncomfortable for the other person, but it was really important for us to be clear to say, no, as a team, this is our event.
Yeah.
And you are a guest at our event. And that's why we didn't take money for our wedding, because we wanted this to be about us.
Yes.
And therefore, it was our impact, on the event happening the way it did or not. That's on us. It's also not on other people. If you know of a friend or family member that has a habit or a theme of doing this to you, or they do it to friends and you're like, uh-oh, now my birthday's coming, they may do it to me. If you know that about them, then you can head that off.
You can be proactive.
Proactive, have that conversation with them to say, hey, I would like you to be involved. Can you pick the restaurant, right? Or can you...
take photos.
Yes. Or can you do the pool of money for the gift or something? So get them involved in something that you do want to do, and still confirm with them, hey, are you still good with this? And is it all good? Is it all... So that you're doing your half of the communication.
Yes. And you can set the relationship up for a win. And then they can feel good about contributing, and you can feel good about that specific contribution. Yeah.
Then the worst situation is when people just show up.
Oh, like unannounced.
Either unannounced or they
or
brought...
with something like
it.
it. Yeah.
They show up with that big punch bowl and themed glasses at your event, and there's no space to put it anywhere.
And now they're moving things around, and they usually put it center.
We have to move it over in an area that is already full, and we have to make space for this unannounced new drink takeover.
Yeah. Yes, the Hawaiian themed punch bowl coming to your, Christmas party, and snowman themed party. Yes.
Yes, we've had those as well.
Yeah.
So when that happens, that is, it's here, it's in the moment at the party. There's not much you can do about it. They have taken over at some level.
So just note it. Do your best to integrate that. You can do is say thank you. Sometimes if it's something small, you can say great, and you put it in off on a corner, on a table somewhere where it can fit or it's out of the way. You say, great, I'm going to throw that in the fridge. We're going to save that for another day.
I actually had a friend that their in-laws showed up with a whole lasagna.
Oh.
And the dinner was already set. The menu was set.
Oh
and then
God.
they show up with a lasagna. And she said, thank you. We will enjoy this another time, and put it into the freezer.
Yes.
Which I think it was an appropriate action.
It is an appropriate action because otherwise that lasagna, and it's like a star of the show kind of like entree you're bringing, you've put so much time, money, and energy into your dinner. You don't want someone else's food taking over. And so it's an appropriate message and a way of giving feedback to those people saying, great, we'll accept your offering, just not to be used. If your expectation is that we're going to use it at this event, then now there's an update on the expectation. And like any of those, though, it requires a follow-up conversation. Mm-hmm. And so that's the opportunity afterwards to say thank you. Either you have two choices. Either after the event, you can say thank you for what you brought. I just want yes, I'm sorry we couldn't use it. We had a whole theme plan. Next time, because I don't want to waste your time and money, let us know beforehand if you're going to bring something, and then we'll let you know what to bring specifically. Mm-hmm. Or if you're not comfortable doing that, then next event, you can have a similar conversation before they come and say, hey, you're invited. And hey, if you want to bring something, just give us a heads up what you might be bringing so we can let you know if we have room for it, if we need it. We don't want to waste your time and effort. Yeah,
but it is key in those kind of relationships. The quality of that relationship may change over time.
Yeah.
If someone kept doing that to us,
yes,
I would definitely have a conversation with you and I saying, do we actually want to invite them at this? Because this is a thing they do. Let's not invite them to this.
They may not get invited, you're right.
Yeah.
And they may actually move out of not just our party group, but the social group altogether.
Yeah.
Because that kind of person is letting you know how they do life.
Yeah, they're not wanting to be aware or take ownership for the impact they are having. They just want to focus on their intention and their influence. So it is more about them than you. And so this is control with
it's
control with a nice cookie sheet.
Which I mean is the most flavorful, delicious type of control to have and be part of. But
for sure.
So here's the bottom line. When someone is overstepping the invitation to your event and asserting their needs onto your party, it's about them and not about you.
And it's okay to be clear about that.
And there may be good reason. We can bring compassion to that. I mean, it might be because they have a need to want to feel special in your life and important, have a sense of contribution in life.
That they might want to feel like they're valued still. Yep.
Yeah, that they have something to offer. It could be their anxiety, some conditioning they had growing up about here's what you're supposed to do if you're a good friend.
And we can have compassion for that. And you can see behind the behavior to say, I see what's going on for them. But it doesn't mean that we keep accepting poor behavior, because you're wanting to work with people, not work against them. And if someone is working against you, that is more about the waves that they are creating.
You're allowed to have that one special event go the way you want it to go. That does not make you selfish.
Nope, not at all.
And the conversations that come out only bring better health to all parties involved.
Hope that helps.
Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, consider subscribing to our channel and make sure you stay tuned for our next video.
Thanks for watching.